Hello, guys. This is Jack, and today we're going to be reviewing Sing Sing in this really strange setup that I have today. So yeah, let's get started.
Right? One, two.
You gotta admit that I murdered that Hamlet thingy, bro. Shakespeare is in his grave right now. He rolled over. You did your thing.
So Sing Sing is about a true story of this correctional facility in New York, and they have like this drama program that has a bunch of correctional inmates around it, and a lot of them are just going through the motions of just trying to live their lives in these prisons cells. And one of them is Divine G, played by Coleman Domingo, who's basically a seasoned actor and ballet person who is kind of like stuck in this hole for the past couple years as he's trying to like get out, along with his other friends, Divine I, who also has this kind of like the same sentiment in language that Divine G has, but instead, like both of them are really trying to like get out and escape from this facility, while also learning more about how drama and art works as a coping mechanism from all their traumas and fears inside of the prison. And part of the drama of this film is mostly dealing with a bunch of these actors trying to learn the material of Shakespeare in Hamlet and King Lear. And it's kind of like a combo of that, while also a combo of science fiction, as they're trying to like make a play about like time travel across several different eras of history. And from there, like all these actors are trying to learn their lines, and it's basically a workshop type of deal where you're watching a bunch of these actors and real people going through like the material and learning more about art therapy, drama therapy, monologuing, and just developing their characters all around like the material. And from there, you really start to understand a lot of the emotional baggage that all of these characters have, especially Clarence Macklin's character, who he's actually playing himself, especially near the end where it reveals that like he's actually using his real name. A lot of these actors are actually real people, and they're playing like their real personas, and I found it to be very fascinating throughout the entire film, trying to like learn and understand more about like these characters and like these real people, and how like the dramatic like workshop stuff works, especially since I used to be an actor. I totally understand a lot of the like clicks and kind of feelings of how to approach material through like words and then perform it on a stage. It's really, really hard, and I think this film really like celebrates the art of acting in general. And let me start by saying that all the performances in this film are really, really inspiring, and honestly like one of the best performances that I've seen this year so far, especially Coleman Domingo and Clarence Macklin. Coleman Domingo, like his character goes through a lot of changes throughout the film as he's trying to learn more about Clarence Macklin's way of living and just understanding his process as an actor. And on top of that, once Coleman Domingo's character starts to really understand Clarence Macklin's dramatic chops, that's when the film starts to really close itself in. And on top of that, you also get to see Coleman Domingo just go through the motions of what it's like to be inside of a prison and what's inside of the prison, and just also dealing with a lot of the trauma that he had in his past. And on top of that, like near the end of the film, where you start to see Coleman Domingo's character go through like these multiple changes and see him go through the clemency like program and like trying to like understand how to put all the information that he brought himself into with his past and kind of like bring it to the board. Like that scene was just really, really, really sad and like intense, and that's when he finally breaks. And yeah, like it's very emotional. And the same thing with like Clarence Macklin's character. You start to see a lot of like the cracks that he has in his like persona, especially when he's trying to like perform on stage. He constantly kind of like backs himself out of a corner and tries to run away from a lot of his trauma. But once he like really like understands like how acting is and how it's upon like different people, like the process itself, it's really interesting. And I love both of their performances in this, and I think Coleman Domingo is definitely going to get like a best actor nomination, especially like Clarence Macklin. I think he's like in the lead for best supporting actor. Now I do have a couple like criticisms, and I think it's like more of like nitpicks. Firstly, I think it's like really light on the messaging, and I say this wholeheartedly because the film is it's very light and it presents itself in like a light manner. It doesn't go super deep into why like the prison systems is like corrupt and like how it commodifies like black bodies and stuff like that. It doesn't go like deeper into that. Instead, it just focuses on one thing, and that's just like the drama program, and I think that's fine. But personally, I would have liked to see more of like why like this prison system like doesn't work as a whole for rehabilitation. And again, like that's like a nitpick that I have with a lot of these movies that deal with like prison systems. And also the second thing is kind of like going deeper into that is more of like the struggle film. I'm not really a huge fan of like these struggle films lately because it's kind of been kind of a repeated pattern of like these struggle narratives that constantly kind of like go through the same motions over and over and over again. But I think here, like, it feels genuine. And I understand that if people aren't like really enjoying this film because of like the struggle narrative, I can understand that. Like, it's totally fine. But I feel like this movie, it's more focusing on like the dramatic aspect of being an actor. And the struggle narrative is just struggling to be an actor. But I mean, again, that's just me. That's like one of the small like nitpicks that I have. And I think it's also because in the beginning, Clarence's character, or Clarence himself, he's introduced in such a very stereotypical drug dealer type of way in the beginning. But then once you really like understand what he's been going through inside of his prison and his character as a whole, then you start to understand why he's acting the way he is. But again, that's just two little like small nitpicks that I have about this film. Yeah, but I feel like overall this film really achieves what it's supposed to do, and that is again to really showcase how it is to be an actor and how it is to be an actor that is completely trapped inside of their emotions. And I think this really achieves everything that it needs to be. I think this is one of the best films of the year. I've seen a bunch of films this year, and I think this one really sticks out. And I will be watching this again and really kind of like dissecting a lot of like the emotional and character baggage that a lot of these characters are getting. I will say this: I think right now it's a front runner for Best Picture and Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor as we go into the fall festival season. I do think Clarence Macklin and Coleman Domingo are going to completely like stay in their like top 5 slots for their respective roles. And I think as the season progresses, Sing Sing as a Best Picture winner, it might start to wane as you see a lot of other films come into the fall festival season. But I think right now Sing Sing is super safe in the top 10 slot. I don't see it like completely being kicked out of the top 10 slot. So yeah, that's just my opinion with the award season as of late. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this little small review of this little small movie. I will be covering the actors and just Best Picture race before I head out for Toronto Film Festival. I think right now we need to kind of like reconcile a lot of the stuff that's happening right now before the fall festival season starts. So yeah, like I hope you guys enjoy this video. Take care. Peace out.